We should say there's spoilers in this video as well.
Spoiling, spoiling.
Can you put that as the little prologue before?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's see that.
Welcome back to the Modern Horror Stories podcast. Yesterday we talked about Better Watch Out from 2016, a kind of Home Alone type horror, home invasion movie. Today we're going to talk about how we would make this movie better. As always, kudos to the people who did make the movie. We've never made one, but we're going to pitch in our ideas to see if we can improve it a little. So who'd like to go first with their three improvements?
I can go first. So my first one is just I'd like maybe like a little bit more characterization to Ashley before like everything started. I think we got a pretty good view of of Luke, the main character, but I think just a little bit more of Ashley so we could understand her a little bit more. I think would have been nice, but it was still all good. But that's just a minor one. And then there was the humor part. I think sometimes we should have gotten a little bit more rest from these intense moments, so to leave some room for the humor. Because when we did do that, sometimes I could actually, like, there was a few moments like that. For example, when the douchey ex-boyfriend showed up, where you got a well-deserved break, from the intensity and got to feel the humor a bit more. So like just to get more out of the jokes, because there were funny jokes. It's just that I would have liked some more out of them. And then there was this one tiny logic like thing, and I know it doesn't really matter in horror movies, but you could say the same about characterization, I guess, as well. But it was that when all three of them were downstairs, like when it's revealed that it's a prank and all that, that's when someone throws in like a brick upstairs, and that's when they're like, oh, there's a real intruder. But now I'm like, maybe they did explain it and I missed it, but I was like, okay, so that convinced me that there is a real intruder. But then I was like, was it ever explained? Maybe it was, but maybe not. And that's it for me.
I can create my own personal explanation for it, but I don't think it was explained in the movie, and I didn't spot it at the time. But the only explanation that I could sort of conjure up for it is that they just had the brick upstairs in the bedroom already, and then they played the sound of a window breaking.
Oh, smart!
But then we see the window is broken later, so I don't know.
That's right.
So my three improvements, I have two big ones and one tiny one. And the two big ones, I don't know if they would make it into a better movie. It would just be one that I would be more comfortable watching. And that would be to get rid of that whole conversation about metrosexuality at the beginning, and get rid of the like tone down or just get rid of the incel stuff altogether. Like, okay, maybe he fancies his babysitter, but like not be so, I don't know, demanding with that desire.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know if it would make it into a better movie or not, but I would probably enjoy watching it more without those elements. And the third thing was that there was this device in the garden, and this could just be the nature of the screen I was watching the film on, and not to do with the making of the film at all. But every now and then they would like cut to that device, that it was like something that there was a tripwire and it shot people. And every now and then they would cut to that, and I could never actually see what the device was or how it worked. Like it was always too dark and too quick, and I was like, oh wait, what is it? No, I didn't get it. And I kept expecting it to come up, like be used, like taken out of the device and used as a weapon in some way, or I don't know. Like I said, I couldn't really see what the device was. So that's the only other change I would make.
So I found it really hard to find three improvements for this film because I enjoyed it so much. But that said, I've got three things, and they're changes, but I don't know if they're going to make them any better. They might make them different. So I kind of agree. Firstly, two things that I want to agree with Rosanna. I feel like some of the plot points, as I was watching it, and first time and second time, I was taken out of the mood very briefly by thinking, as soon as I found out there was a twist and Garrett and Luke were both in on it, I started to think, oh, wait a minute, did Garrett have time to throw the brick? And what about the pizza? Was that planned, or was that? And so there was just a moment where my mind was drifting to these kind of plot things, and whether they made sense or not. So I guess if I had time, I would sit down and sit with my stopwatch to see if there was time for everyone to do everything. But again, that's a quite a trivial thing, especially within the context of a horror movie, which you have to suspend quite a lot of disbelief. The second thing I want to agree with Rosanna was, I would like a tiny bit more comedy. The reason I'm unsure about it is because it is a very ambiguous movie in many, many ways, and I kind of like that. And perhaps with more comedy, it would feel more comfortable, but perhaps less of a horror movie. I don't know. I think given how evil Luke turns out to be, I think all those kind of that dark side sits well with me. I quite like it. I don't want to sugarcoat the fact he's quite an evil person. But maybe I could have liked a little bit more comedy. I don't know. If I was making the movie, maybe I'd put in a few extra jokes and see how that works with test audiences. I don't know. Okay, so again, I'm uncertain about all of these. And the third thing, also uncertain about, but it might be the inclusion of a kind of signature moment, possibly a signature kill, or just something that becomes that talking point for the film. Because for me, it's just below what I would consider a classic horror film. And maybe if it had that one signature moment, like the shower scene in Psycho, or the first horrific kill in Terrifier, that one moment that people would talk about, then perhaps that would elevate it. I'm not sure it would. I think if you did have a bigger kill, it would become maybe slightly less realistic, which would soften the tone. It would become less. I think it'd be less uncomfortable the more outrageous the kill was. Everything was done fairly realistically in this movie. So that's my third thing. I'm not sure if it would be an improvement. I'd try it. I'd try it with another test audience as well.
Do you have ideas what the kill would be?
Oh, crikey! There's three people killed in this movie, aren't they?
Yeah, 3. Yeah, and 1 attempted.
And one attempted, yeah. Maybe do something with the ex-boyfriend. It kind of makes sense within the context of the movie, but I quite like the other 2 kills. They both work in their own shocking way. So I don't know. I'm not sure.
I liked the ex-boyfriend kill. I thought that was a good one. With
It was.
the rope and the
Yeah.
yeah. We should say there's spoilers in this video as well.
Spoiling.
Can you put that as the little prologue before?
Yeah.
Yeah, I should see that.
So they are our 3 things to improve this movie. Do you think they would improve this movie? Do you have suggestions? Put them in the comments below, or let us know if you think our improvements would actually ruin a masterpiece. Anyway, hope you have a happy Christmas or a happy New Year, depending on when you see this. And tune in again for Modern Horror Stories podcast. Joke at the beginning with the couple. I thought, how well do you know Patrick Warburton?
Not well.
Well, because he's got this amazingly masculine voice.
Hmm.
And he voices a character called Joe on Family Guy, which is this, and again,
Oh, does
amazing
he?
masculine voice. And I thought the joke was about his kind of stereotype character.